Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. Ridge and Brooke's Reunion Trap by Eric. Eric Forrester worked on a sort of reunion trap for Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan, according to the Bold and the Beautiful recap on Tuesday, April 22nd. Here's what happened when Liam Spencer was likewise taken aback by Steffi Forrester's confession. Liam's cloudy vision made it difficult for him to concentrate on the words in Kelly Spencer's book in her room at the Cliff home. Liam dismissed it as his eyes being tired and eventually just made up a tale when Kelly asked what was wrong. Kelly adored Liam's story about a young child who had the same name as her and who possessed the same magical abilities of kindness and self-defense. Liam made another prediction about staying put when Kelly pressured him to make a vow that they would live happily ever after. On Tuesday's episode, Steffi was dancing with Kelly in the living room when John Finnegan arrived home, and she found it difficult to comprehend how Liam could be dying. Finn insisted that Liam's tumor could not be operated on, despite Steffi's denial of his terrible destiny. After a while, Steffi began to consider all the significant events Liam would miss, but Finn advised moving cautiously. Steffi sobbed as she sat down with Liam on the couch after deciding that she should be the one to break the news to him. Finn went to bid Kelly goodnight so the ex-partners could have some privacy. When Liam left the hospital before receiving updates on his most recent scans, Steffi chastised him for putting his health at jeopardy. Liam asked Steffi what was going on after noticing that she was losing her mind. When Liam's medical team discovered a growth on his brain after Steffi hospitalized him, they were able to confirm that he had an incurable brain tumor. As Liam tried to process Steffi's announcement that he was dying, his eyes became hazy. Brooke confessed that she missed Ridge at Forrester Creations after Eric urged her to do so and expressed her desire to persuade him to be back together. Eric brought up a picture on his laptop after Brooke had finished thinking back on their time in Portofino and the spectacular entrance she made on a boat while wearing a stunning gown. Ridge's interruption caused some awkwardness, but he thought Brooke was merely attempting to learn more about the fashion show's showstopper. Eric tried to evoke some pleasant recollections by showing Ridge the Portofino photo of Brooke after he had taken off. When Ridge broke up with Brooke and reconnected with Taylor Hayes following Brooke's CEO move, Eric thought that Ridge had overreacted. As Eric had intended, Ridge found himself allowing his thoughts to stray to those Portofino memories of Brooke while he was attending to some Forrester business. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Eric will continue to forecast that Brooke and Ridge will be together, but his dream for a reunion won't come true anytime soon. This woman is a better fit for Ridge. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge Forrester may have finally made the right choice for himself. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge would do better with this woman. This is due to the fact that many people think he would be more compatible with Taylor Hayes. The reason for this is that, in contrast to his sporadic connection with Brooke Logan, Ridge and Taylor behave like two responsible adults while they are together. Unlike Brooke Logan, Taylor knows how to maintain her composure, and their conversations never turn into disputes. Even if Brooke is still pursuing him, this may have played a role in Ridge's decision to try again with Taylor. Ridge has stated that he would want to be with Taylor, but she isn't giving up. Or for the moment, anyway. In addition, Taylor never pursues Ridge or begs for his love the way Brooke does, which has been noted by fans. Many admirers find it difficult to understand why she would act as though she is utterly anxious to be with him at times. In short, Taylor may be slightly more mature than her romantic competitor. It's quite obvious that Taylor and Ridge get along well whenever they're together. However, Taylor departs the instant Brooke steps in and tries to yank Ridge away. She doesn't resist. In order to properly heal her broken heart, something Brooke has never done but should undoubtedly do, she simply picks up her belongings and leaves town. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, what will happen to Ridge and Taylor next? Naturally, fans will need to tune in every single day to see what happens next. Viewers are screaming at Eric Forrester's statement. We understand that you find it hard to believe, but we too find it hard to believe. Viewers are outraged by Eric Forrester's remark in The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Naturally, we are discussing the recent counsel that Eric Forrester provided to Brooke Logan, his daughter-in-law who has been on and off on The Bold and the Beautiful. Eric actually advised Brooke to continue pursuing Ridge's love even after he left her for his other ex, Taylor Hayes, on the most recent episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Many followers are outraged about this because they want Brooke to pick herself and stop pursuing a man who mistreats her. As you might guess, there was a lot of discussion about the issue on the internet. I detest how the writers consistently turn Brooke into a doormat for greasy, nasty Ridge to walk all over, some fans of The Bold and the Beautiful even remarked. What kind of woman would put up with a man treating her like trash and always lusting after him? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. What will happen to Brooke Logan next? Particularly in light of his remarks regarding Hope. Ridge doesn't seem to remember his own daughter's violent history. I wish Brooke had a different plot that wasn't related to the Forresters. There are women in the real world who are exactly like Brooke, another fan commented. The distinction is that they aren't shown as someone to strive for. While I can put up with a lot, cheating is not one of them. Even though I'm not a parent, I'm a pretty excellent elder cousin, so if you come for any of them, I'll consider you dead. Additionally, this comment was made, why is Brooke unable to remain unmarried? Why is a man always necessary for her? I have never seen Brooke alone. And why are the Forresters necessary? Why don't the Logans move out and establish their own business? No one can control them in that manner or keep them back. Additionally, there would be competition for the Forrester. Liam's tumor discovery, Cupid Eric, and Kelly's special night is at last here. Eric Forrester portrays Cupid in today's episode. Liam Spencer discovers he is terminally ill. But Kelly Spencer and her father have the most amazing night ever. John Finnegan describes. Steffi Forrester Finnegan is informed by John Finnegan that surgery is not an option. She sobs and won't believe it. Steffi finds this unbelievable. How is Liam going to die? Finn describes the previous doctor's absence from the mass. Steffi is informed by Finn that Liam needs to return to the hospital immediately. Finn tries to comfort his wife by repeating that it's inoperable. Finn informs Steffi that the mass was there previously and wasn't brought on by the fall. Finn mentions Liam's commitment to improving his day and supporting his girls. Finn encourages his wife to take things one step at a time. Steffi believes she ought to inform Liam that he is dying. Kelly Spencer's unique evening. In Kelly's room, Liam's vision becomes blurry. He is encouraged to read more by the young girl. Liam's vision is completely fuzzy, so he attempts to remember the words. Liam's covering isn't very good. Liam's incorrect reading of the story is noticed by Kelly. The young girl is aware that something is off when Liam tries to get her to read to him. Liam offers to tell her a story rather than read because he says his eyes are tired. Liam shares a tale about a little child who shares Kelly's name. Kelly urges Liam to swear that they would always be together as he narrates the tale. Liam does, but his expression is one of concern. The finding of Liam Spencer's tumor. Liam returns to Shin after leaving Kelly's room. Steffi has been sobbing, and Liam can tell. Liam says he's worn out. They should discuss, Steffi suggests. In order to give Steam privacy, Finn excuses himself. Steffi mentions how special Kelly's night was. Liam needs to sit down because his head hurts. For being late to Kelly's dance, Liam apologizes. Kelly would have understood, according to Steffi. He put his health at risk. Steffi bursts into tears. What on earth is happening? Liam is worried. Did I do something wrong? Liam asks. Liam is informed by Steffi that his test results have arrived. Steffi holds Liam's hand while crying. Liam requests that she simply say it. Steffi informs him about the brain tumor that cannot be removed. Liam, you're dying. Eric Forrester's arrangements. Brooke Logan walks inside Eric Forrester Creations' office. When Brooke emerges from the vault, she is enamored by Eric's designs. Eric inquires as to whether Brooke misses Ridge Forrester. Despite this, she is glad to see the Forresters back in their proper place. She says, this feels right. At the business, anyway. Brooke acknowledges that she loves and misses Ridge. Seeing him every day at the office is difficult. After listening, Eric acknowledges that Ridge is Brooke's type. Ridge yaps about creating magic as he enters. When he sees Brooke, he freezes. Ridge wants to know what's happening with Brooke and Eric. Brooke leaves, but Eric wants to speak with her further later. Ridge cautions that no one should witness the surprise. Ridge asks his father questions after Brooke leaves. Uncertain, Eric shows Ridge a photo of Brooke wearing a dress. Ridge abruptly left Brooke for Taylor Hayes over a job, Eric mentions. After they argue, Electra Forrester enters the room. Ridge recalls Brooke on a yacht in a wedding dress as Eric and Electra converse. When Eric realizes his strategy is working, he smiles at Ridge. Though they are uncommon, the bold and the beautiful epiphanies have the capacity to permanently alter relationships. Eric Forrester, the family patriarch confronting his own mortality, and Liam Spencer, the eternally conflicted romantic, are two men at very different stages of life who are about to have life-changing epiphanies. Steffi Forrester, meanwhile, is ready to finally reveal the whole, unvarnished truth, regardless of the repercussions, since she is sick of the lies and half-truths that have characterized so much of her past with Liam. One of the most emotionally charged arcs in recent history is expected to be this collision of honesty, introspection, and long-overdue confrontations, which will force individuals to face their past while navigating an uncertain future. Findings have always been a double-edged sword for Liam. He takes great satisfaction in his moral compass, yet his life has been a string of contradictions. He demands fidelity while faltering in his own commitments, and he preaches honesty while avoiding harsh realities. However, following years of alternating between hope and Steffi, as well as innumerable betrayals, both suffered and inflicted, Liam might finally be at a breaking point where he can no longer afford to remain in denial. Steffi's unwavering love for Finn, Hope's changing relationship with Thomas, and Bill's constant plotting have all contributed to the long-term formation of the fractures in his worldview. But what if he comes to his greatest understanding about himself rather than about them? What if Liam eventually realizes that his biggest weakness is not misfortune or the deceit of others, but rather his own unwillingness to accept responsibility? In actuality, Liam has been playing the victim for so long that he hasn't acknowledged his own part in the mayhem. He has actively participated in his own problems each time he has wavered between women, attacked Thomas rather than confronting his own fears, and given Bill another chance even though he knew better. Now that Steffi is about to reveal something he can't ignore, Liam might be forced to face the consequences. Will he finally be forced to develop, or will this epiphany shatter him? For his part, Eric Forrester is having a different type of epiphany. Eric's current health issues have made him face his own frailty and the passing of time, as a guy who has spent decades creating a legacy. Although his near-death experience served as a wake-up call, he may have come to a greater understanding of the family he has dedicated his life to raising and the rifts that exist within it. What if Eric is beginning to see that his yearning for unity has occasionally allowed dysfunction? Eric has always been the Forresters' unifying force, the voice of reason amid a sea of egos. Under Eric's supervision, the dynamics of Ridge's unrelenting rivalry with Brooke, Thomas's cycles of atonement and relapse, and even Steffi's staunch independence have all developed, frequently with him intervening to mediate rather than insist on substantive change. But now that he is aware of his own mortality, Eric could understand that love sometimes calls for more than patience, it calls for honesty, even when it hurts. Is this the point at which Eric begins to hold his family accountable and ceases to patch things up? If this is the case, his influence might serve as the impetus for long overdue resolutions for Liam and everyone else around him. Then there is Steffi, who has had enough of the lies and games. She has been caught up in a loop of passion, betrayal, and unresolved tension with Liam for years, but now that she is totally devoted to Finn, she is done skirting the past. She is prepared to reveal whatever secret she has been keeping, whether it concerns Liam, Hope, Thomas, or even Bill, regardless of the repercussions. This is a lady who has found serenity in her marriage and is unwilling to allow unsaid things to contaminate her future. She is not the impetuous Steffi of the past, snapping in rage. What precisely is she going to disclose, though? Is it something Liam has suppressed or revised in his own mind from their shared past? Is there something about Hope that dispels Liam's romanticized view of her? Or is it something more sinister, a Bill's secret that makes Liam ultimately sever his father's relationship for good? In any case, Steffi's promise to speak the truth is a game-changer that might finally push Liam out of his denial cycle and into a painful but essential reality. A powder keg of emotional drama is produced by the interaction of these three storylines: Steffi's truth bomb, Eric's legacy thoughts, and Liam's self-reflection. Imagine the scenes: Eric, in a rare display of firmness, telling Liam to take responsibility for his life and quit placing blame on others. As Liam struggles to comprehend her revelations, Steffi remains steadfast and refuses to give up, even as he spirals. And without his typical barriers, Liam had to face the possibility that he was the one who shared all of his suffering. The Bold and the Beautiful excels at this type of unvarnished, character-driven narrative, in which the more profound, genuine challenges that lie underlying the glitzy scandals take center stage. In the end, this arc is about whether these characters can bear the weight of the truth once it is revealed, not just about secrets being revealed. For Liam, it's an opportunity to finally overcome his habits and transform into the man he's always acted like. Eric sees it as a chance to solidify his reputation as a father who supported his family through their most difficult times, in addition to his legacy as a designer. And for Steffi, it's about taking back her story and demonstrating that she is no longer characterized by Hope's judgment or Liam's hesitation. The consequences will surely change the game and be nasty and painful. However, one thing is for sure: nothing will be the same again after this. The illusion of control, the conviction that he could always find a way to make things right, regardless of how chaotic his love life got, how many times his father deceived him, or how many times he wavered between Hope and Steffi, has always been the cornerstone of Liam Spencer's entire existence. However, what occurs when life deals a blow that cannot be reversed? When a guy who has played the victim of circumstance for years is suddenly confronted with a fate that he cannot control, avoid, or negotiate. The worst news Liam has ever received is a catastrophic medical diagnosis. This devastating turn of events forces Liam to face his own mortality, his broken relationships, and the agonizing realization that time may not be on his side. His response isn't merely one of fear or grief, it's a whole disintegration, a seismic collapse that reveals the unadulterated, unrefined essence of a guy who has lived his entire life concealing himself behind hesitation and self-righteousness. Whether it's a life-altering accident, a degenerative ailment, or a terminal sickness, Liam's world comes to a halt the instant the doctor gives the diagnosis. This man has experienced innumerable scandals, betrayals, and near losses, but none of them have ever seriously challenged his conviction that he could make things better. However, this isn't the same. This has nothing to do with regaining a woman's affection, outwitting his father's plans, or establishing Thomas's villainous status. This concerns fate itself, the one foe he cannot defeat. Liam's typical coping strategies, such as denial, deflection, and fervent requests for another opportunity, disintegrate as the reality sets in. He doesn't get angry, haggle, or call Hope or Steffi right away for consolation. As an alternative, he sits in a suffocating quiet, feeling the weight of his own frailty as never before. Liam Spencer is genuinely helpless for the first time in his life, and that understanding is scarier than any betrayal he has ever experienced. A devastating spiral ensues, revealing the darkest fears Liam has buried for his whole life. He has always taken pride in being the good guy, the moral compass in a world full of cunning people, but now that he could be killed, he must consider if he has really been a good man at all. Is it love or self-centered uncertainty that has caused him to alternate between Hope and Steffi so frequently? Was he judging Thomas to please his ego or to protect his family? Is his connection with Bill based on a juvenile resistance to recognize that his father will never change, or has it been based on hope for redemption? Each recollection is a new source of agony as the guilt sweeps over him in waves. He considers Beth and how much of her life he has already lost as a result of his own errors. He reflects on Hope, who has supported him through every hardship, despite his constant doubts about her. He considers Steffi, the woman he has loved and damaged equally, who is now contentedly living with Finn. After years of pleading with his father, Bill, to improve, he has come to the realization that he might not have the time to do so himself. The most heartbreaking scene occurs when Liam, alone himself during his lowest point, lets out the worry he has been holding inside. What if he passes away before ever really becoming the man he aspired to be? What if his legacy consists only of unresolved grudges, half-lived loves, and broken promises? The man who has spent his entire life avoiding harsh realities is suddenly drowning in them, which is an unconscionable irony. Furthermore, despite his strong desire to connect with Hope, Steffi, and even Bill, he is unable to do so. Not quite yet. Because acknowledging his vulnerability means acknowledging that he is a guy running out of time and no longer the protagonist of his own tale. The emotions around Liam are as terrible when the news eventually surfaces, whether it is due to a medical emergency, a slip of the tongue, or his own agonizing confession. Ever the optimist, Hope clings to the hope that there must be a cure, a miracle, or something, but underlying her resolve lies a deep fear of losing him. Steffi is devastated, her past love for Liam returning in a flood of anguish and protectiveness, even though she is happy with Finn. Bill, who has always thought that power and money could cure any problem, is suddenly powerless and displays a desperation he has never displayed before in place of his typical arrogance. Even Ridge and Brooke, who have been watching Liam's drama for years, are rattled and forced to face life's frailties in a way that is too personal. But Liam's silence is the real tragedy. This is a man who has always spoken, arguments, cries, and confessions of love, but he is suddenly silent when it counts most. The prognosis is more than simply a death sentence, it's a mirror that reflects all of his regrets, unmet promises, and moments of carelessness. And Liam Spencer does something he has never done before as he looks into that abyss, he puts an end to his battle. He is genuinely seeing himself for the first time, not because he has given up. Now, the question is whether this sudden, ruthless realization is too late or if it serves as the impetus for a last act of atonement that might completely change his legacy. There is no denying that Liam's encounter with death is the most honest and relatable tale The Bold and the Beautiful could portray in a series centered on scandals and treachery. Viewers are left wondering if this is the end of Liam Spencer or the start of the man he was always meant to be as he struggles with the unfathomable. I hope Logan departs for Paris. This is perhaps the best time to depart if there ever was one. According to spoilers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope Logan may decide to leave town like Sally Spectre did. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, I hope Logan is heading to Paris. This is because she is simply fed up with everything that has obviously gone wrong in her life. When Sally's life fell apart, she did the same thing, as many fans remember. She was fed up with Bill Spencer always attempting to destroy her fashion career, and her relationship with Wyatt ended. Hope Logan appears to be in a similar situation at the moment. The acquisition of Forrester Creations went terribly wrong. Furthermore, she and Carter's relationship just ended. In addition, she will never be able to trust her mother Brooke again because she joined Ridge in their bitter argument. Hope wants to take her daughter Beth and simply leave since she feels like she doesn't belong in this made-up town of Los Angeles. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, what will happen to Hope Logan next? However, there is no question that Thomas Forrester would be the one to get her to say the thing. However, after his extended stay in Paris, it is only a question of whether and when he would return home. Alternatively, expect May simply go to the City of Lights and expect to shine brighter than any diamond. She has, after all, worked hard. The fact that Hope is surrounded by individuals who want to watch her fail rather than consistently succeed is not her fault.